In 1939, a dark specter loomed over the globe, with World War II's thunderous march echoing across continents. The United States found itself on the precipice of conflict, its naval forces overshadowed by seasoned adversaries. The Hellcat, a humble aircraft, would emerge as a game-changer in the Pacific theater's skies. Conceived to counter the nimble Zero of Japan, its development was steeped in urgency. Politicians, driven by necessity, gave Grumman Aircraft Engineering Corporation their mandate. Chief Engineer Leroy Grumman, with an unwavering gaze and a steely resolve, faced a daunting challenge, crafting a fighter that combined speed, power, and rugged dependability. His team grappled with design complexities, optimizing the Pratt & Whitney engine for optimum performance. In June 1942, a prototype took to the skies above Brooklyn. Test pilots strained to master its quirks, battling G-forces and relentless winds. Deployed in August 1943, the Hellcat's fierce entry transformed air combat. Pilots marveled at its prowess as sinkings and victories mounted. Allies hailed this triumph of American innovation, while foes cast uneasy eyes upon the sky. As the war raged on, the Hellcat symbolized tenacity and ingenuity, forever altering the aerial battlefield. In the crucible of World War II, a new predator took to the skies, one that would redefine airborne combat. Rising from the simmering tensions of the global conflict, the Grumman F-6F Hellcat was born out of necessity. The United States Navy, seeking superiority in the Pacific theater, envisioned a fighter capable of overpowering the Japanese Zero. Aircraft designer Leroy Grumman, armed with a keen understanding of naval aviation, stood at the helm. His team faced daunting technical challenges, especially the need for heavy armament and robust armor without sacrificing speed. Unyielding, they transformed the mock-ups into a formidable foe. As test pilots pushed these machines to their limits in the Virginia skies, a symphony of performance and power emerged. By mid-1943, the Hellcat roared into active duty, startling both allies and adversaries with its unmatched prowess. Its impact rippled through naval strategy, altering the tide of war and securing its place in aviation lore. In the dim light of a chilly morning in August of 1943, the Grumman F-6F Hellcat roared to life, marking its combat debut over the Pacific theater. This was not just a new fighter aircraft, but a desperate answer to the menacing Japanese Zero that had ruled the skies. Key political strategists in Washington, D.C. demanded superiority in air combat, leading to a collaboration of ingenuity and urgency by engineers in Grumman's Bethpage plant. Tasked with overcoming crippling issues of speed and maneuverability, they orchestrated a marvel of wartime innovation. Chief Engineer Leroy Grumman, haunted by the memory of aviation failures, led a team driven by unyielding resolve. Early tests saw mixed results, with test pilot Butch O'Hare noting its temperamental handling at high speeds. Yet, when the Hellcat's wheels left the runway from the USS Independence carrier, it was a phoenix ascending. Allies hailed its strength, enemies felt its wrath, and for the civilians, it was a symbol of hope that might soon dim the shadows of war. In the thick fog of World War II, as American forces grappled with a formidable enemy in the vast Pacific, a remarkable innovation emerged from the skies, the Grumman F-6F Hellcat. Conceived against the backdrop of the escalating air war, this rugged fighter arose from strategic necessity. The powerful Japanese Zero had dominated the air, and the United States sought a decisive countermeasure. Designing the Hellcat presented significant engineering challenges. It needed speed, durability, and a deadly punch. Engineers at Grumman wrestled with weight distribution and aerodynamic efficiency, striving to forge an aircraft that pilots could trust with their lives. Enter Leroy Grumman and his dedicated team. Their efforts transformed the Hellcat from blueprint to reality with astonishing speed. Early tests were promising, revealing a fighter that not only met expectations, but surpassed them. Its introduction in 1943 marked a turning point. Allied pilots embraced the Hellcat, while enemies regarded it with wary respect. It dominated the skies, rewriting the rules of engagement and altering the course of the Pacific theater forever. In the midst of World War II, a revolutionary machine took flight, a testament to human ingenuity and resilience. The Grumman F-6F Hellcat emerged from the forges of necessity. As the United States naval aviation faced the formidable power of Japanese Zero fighters, strategic minds demanded a formidable answer. Key figures like Grumman's chief engineer, Leroy Grumman, battled sleepless nights and relentless schedules, driven by a singular motivation: to secure the skies. The engineering challenges were monumental, designing a plane that combined speed, durability, and firepower, like the lethal 6.50 caliber machine guns. Initial trials were a crucible of failure and triumph, pilots discovering how to tame the engine's raw power, turning technical hurdles into stepping stones. When Hellcats roared onto Pacific airfields in 1943, reactions were electric. Allies hailed it as a game-changer, while enemies begrudgingly acknowledged its prowess. The Hellcat not only secured aerial dominance, it symbolized innovation overcoming adversity, leaving an indelible mark on aviation history.